Hello, everyone. We have a gentleman here. Right now, what we're doing is we're trying to bring in excerpts from cities in Canada and even internationally to cement the history here of the soccer in Toronto. So there's a very interesting gentleman. He has a lot of expertise in different facets. Soccer is one of those. You'll find out football is also one of those, but it all means the same thing.
Yes.
So I'll ask you to introduce yourself and say where you're from, how you managed to be here in Canada, and a little of your, if you have any soccer/football background.
Well, my name is Henry Antoine. I was born in Trinidad, Belmont Valley Road. I grew up in the Valley Road. I come from an African heritage background. My great-grandfather came from West Africa, Dahomey. In 1855, bought a piece of land for $135, and we are still there. And we are carrying on the African tradition. Now, there's also a book written on a Rada community in Trinidad, in which you will see a lot of information about the roots of my family. I happened to go back to Africa a couple of years ago and meet true family from my great-grandfather. That was historical and it was very emotional. I grew up in Trinidad. I played cricket for Shannon. I played soccer with Ron Farrier and Claude Phillip for Crompton. Crompton has only made one final the days when I used to save with them. That year, the only team that beat us was Maple in the BDV, who won nothing. A simple goal, but we won the league. We beat Bosse Youth, won nothing. And it's the first time we have been able to win the league. And it is something that I will not forget because it was very, tense as a goalkeeper, coming to the end and the pressure is on you. I could never forget fellow with a left foot boy from Bosse Youth hit it a free kick. And my friend, them fellows pulling down my pants inside the goal post. That's what they used to do sometimes with a goalkeeper, pull down your pants. And on the last minute, I tip it over the bar. And I went to the ground and I lie down there for a while, but I just wanted to regain my composure, But altogether, I left Trinidad in 1968, came to Canada, first landed in Montreal, and then after a week, I head for Toronto, where I spread my wings, I got my papers and so on, and I became a landed immigrant in Toronto. I immediately got in touch with Earl Lapierre. When Earl Lapierre met me there, they formed a band called Toronto Symphony with Elton John. Earl taught me to play the cellos. And during that time, we also had some soccer that we used to play up at High Park. Wilbur, Quanvey, Henry Quanvey, Callender, Duggar, you name it, the people from Trinidad who came up here, Mangi and all of them. And we used to go and play in High Park. And the fun of it, Clyde McNeil was one of the goalkeepers. The fun of it was to push the ball for Mangi to kick and lick down the goalkeeper. And that was fun. That was fun for us. But after that, we went on and we joined the league where we play against West Indies. And that was very exciting on Sinclair and Lansdowne. That were all the big games we used to play. And I mean, it was like I mean, we were all friends. After the game, we were all talking and having fun. But on that day, some of the biggest crowds you would have seen coming to see soccer.
If I may, when you were playing in Hyde Park and stuff, were you ever aware of the West Indies before you actually played against them?
No.
Okay, so you just got access to the forming of Ivory then?
Yes.
Okay.
West Indies had some Trinidad, a couple of Trinidadians playing with them, like
correct.
four and another one.
Yeah, right. So how an interesting question. How, seeing that you were a goalkeeper, you said the fun was setting up Mangi to like downkeeper. So I guess you were unconscious quite a few times, or you were sticking Clyde McNeil in the goal. Who was the number one keeper? You or Clyde?
No. I was not on the opposing side. I was on Mangi's side.
Okay.
So it's them Italian people. They was afraid of him. When they see him on the ball, they used to be scared. So we enjoyed seeing him hitting it, pushing it, and he letting go that wicked left foot he have.
So were you in a league? If you say the Italian people, were you guys in a league? Was the team already Ivory?
Yeah,
were you guys in a league in Hyde Park?
It was in a league. It was a league.
Was it as high a level league as the T&D at Earl's Court, or is it?
No.
So you guys started at Hyde Park in a league, and then you joined T&D.
That's right.
Oh, okay. And how that evolved? How you start spreading your wings? Because we understand that, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is multifaceted, and I wanna. I'm getting to meet him for the first time. I've been hearing his name ever since I hear in Toronto. So I'm going to be poking a lot of holes in for him to go through here. How things evolved for you? The reason I canvass you is from the Montreal aspect of it. So how long did you stay in Toronto, and how did this Montreal thing come back into play?
First of all, I must tell you, when the Caribana started, I was one of the top promoters in Toronto with Clyde McNeil. We were the two big promoters in Toronto. And my first big show was at Toronto Sheraton. And in those days, it's $950 you pay for that big place. And I bought Germany brass, brass shorty, shadow. I bring name people to the place. And I would say I was one of the people that open up and bring the type of entertainment from Trinidad to Canada and create real anxiety and fun for the people. And
were you still within Ivory at that time, or you already?
I never left. I never left them.
So you and Clyde were actually doing this from within the structure of Ivory? Is that what you said?
No, on the outside.
Okay.
We're doing this personally.
Okay.
Clyde was a very good promoter, and he did his thing, I did my thing, but we were very close. When we order liquor for the function, he will order it, and I'll take what I want, pay for what I want. So we had a very good, close relationship. But I came from Trinidad from a cultural background. In my yard, there was a band by the name of Rising Sun. Came from there. The ping pong soloist was Dudley Smith, who went away with Tasco, and he was the first ping pong soloist in Trinidad and Tobago for 2 consecutive years. So I came from culture, and coming into this, and mass also. So coming into the Caribana, where they had this thing going on, and by the way, I'm going to have to cut and paste. I also took part in the first Calypso competition in Toronto, held by Caribana. And you could put that in your pot and smoke it. That's the facts. It was held by Caribana. It was held at the Maple Leaf Gardens. And the guest appearance was the Mighty Duke and the fellow who sang Cupid, Johnny Nash. I came second, but the most important thing is the history of the culture. I hear a lot of people talking about who started and who started. Caravana is the first people did it, with Johnny Cayone and the lawyer, what's his name?
Do you remember who came first in that competition that you came second in?
The guy he died now, but I can't remember his name. I cannot remember his name specifically at this point. But altogether, it was fun, and it was like as I said, I sang calypso, and I sang about Caravana. Caravana is coming. Let everybody know. We go burn down Toronto. I say, I have heard about festivals, but none to beat back Trinidad Bacchanal. I've attended many festivals, but none to beat back Trinidad Carnival. Here in Toronto, it's known by a different name, but to me, it remains the same old thing. You could jump high, you could jump low. It's straight down the islands we all will go. And we go play mass in the streets of Toronto. Bacchanal, oh my Lord, anywhere you go.
All right.
People jumping all over the streets. Let's get together and jump to the rhythm that is still band beat. I said, this one. I have known a certain band leader. He was the king for last Caravana. I have known the same band leader. He was the king for many years. This year, he said the mother man would have to fear because the costume he's making for his boys to wear. And he with his own idea, I am sure he will beat them from year to year. That was just part of the fun we had, you know.
All right. So okay. Were you ever let's go with the Montreal.
Okay. When I came to Montreal,
what did you exhaust here, or how Montreal came back into play? Seeing that you in Caravana, you're given all these things, what happened?
there was a fellow by the name of Leroy Butcher from St. Lucia, was involved in the carnival in Montreal. He did it first. And when I got to Montreal, he heard about me and he came to me and he asked me if I can help. And I said, no problem. And I decided to help them and bring it because he lost money the very first time. And he said he's not doing it anymore.
Yeah, but when you say when you got to Montreal, what I'm trying to find out from you is what make you decide to go. You land in Montreal, according to what you told the public. You started culturally, you started expand your wings here in Toronto.
Right.
And what make you go back to Montreal? Did you have family members there? What make you go back?
I have family in Montreal. I had my father, I had my mother, my sisters. And you know, things was getting kind of hectic. You know, when you're a young fella and the girls around and whatnot. To save my marriage, I head back. I come out of that.
Okay. So now you get back there, and this gentleman, he was establishing the Carib Festa.
Yes.
Or Carib Festa. What was it called? Carib Fest, right?
Yeah.
Right. And he asked you, so you can, okay, he asked you to
asked me if I can assist them, and I got some entertainment for them, Milo and the Kings, and Bill Trotman was one of the main people here, and it went off pretty well until he had exhausted. In those days, you're doing it from your pocket. He had exhausted himself and he said he's finished. Another gentleman by the name of Winston Roberts came to me and said, let us put this thing together. You have the experience, let's do it. And we put the carnival together, and our carnival was one of the best carnivals in North America, including New York, Toronto. It was the best.
Well, it was very free. I came to it and it had a more close to home Trinidad atmosphere because the freedom, the corner store, you could get beer. You remember there was a lot of restrictions here in Toronto.
Yes, well,
Yeah, I tend to agree with you a bit.
the authorities worked very closely with us, the police and the different government offices. They were quite happy with what was happening, and we did not have that amount of restrictions going on there. And then eventually I took it over and did it by myself, single-handedly. My money, I got a lot of problems from the wife. I wasted money and all the rest of it, but it's in the blood and I couldn't get it out. So I ran the carnival for many years. I brought in people like Bob Gittins, if you know who he is, Charlie's Roots, a band called Fireflight, Germany Brass. I brought Marshall Montano and Natasha to Montreal when they first started. I have something here that I can show you.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can get that when that time comes, but we gotta keep rolling. So now you do the Carib Fest and stuff. How did you get back linked with the ball? Because this is what we're doing here now, and I just want the public to realize that how multifaceted this gentleman is.
I also ran a league in Montreal, a black league, where I had teams from Jamaica, St. Vincent, Trinidad, and so on. I had about 9 teams in the league.
Now, was there a void for you to get into the ball while doing this planning in terms of the soccer?
Yes, there was a void, and I started it and at a little park where we got permission from the government to do it, and it was a big thing on a Sunday. You mean you have hundreds of people coming to see soccer, and I mean soccer at a high level. And not only run the league, but I also brought the army to play an all-star game against the league in Montreal.
Well, Major Brown mentioned that. I had Major Brown on, and he mentioned that. Now, you remember what year you started that league?
Oh boy, I would have to.
That's fine if you can't, that because we dealing with accurate information, so that's fine. But in researching, I saw Montreal start coming to Ivory tournament, so that's where we head in when it comes to the ball now. Oh, and your name always been mentioned around the Montreal part of it. How did that happen? And
I know both sides of the border now. I know the Toronto and I know the Montreal. So when we go down to play, I was not the goalkeeper for that particular game. A fellow by the name of Sam, he was tall and he was very good. But I'm coming down there and I have to balance this because here my friends are here and I am coming down from Montreal. But the game, we tied the game. It was a wonderful game, and that only opened up where Ivory would now come to Montreal to play, and it was a very nice home and away situation.
that's where I was headed. If I recall, after joining Ivory in '74, that home and away, I remember that home and away with Colin and these guys coming down and we playing you guys at the University ground up here in Scrabble here.
That's right.
Ivory tournament started in 1976, so that preceded, you know, that was after. Now, I guess it's based on that home and away friendly atmosphere. So it was a shoe-in, they having the tournament and they wanted you. So were you the original person to bring a Montreal team into the Ivory tournament?
No, I was not the original person. I was a part of it.
Okay.
It would be very unfair for me to say I was a part of the consortium that organized and come to Montreal.
And what you thought of the tournament?
The tournament was at a very high level. I must say that the Toronto team was very, very concerned about the Montreal team because we had some good players out there. And what the tournament did was to bring our people closer together. You know who's in Toronto, and Toronto know who's in Montreal, and you could communicate and whatnot. It was a very, very, very good, what I call a meeting of friends and the minds. You know, you talk, when we came here, we heard about this multicultural and all of that. We didn't know about that in Trinidad. Trinidad culture was culture, no multicultural. We learned about multicultural here, but we have been dealing with multicultural before we come to Canada. You understand? And when they talk to me about multicultural, I say, listen, that may be something for you in the government here, but we born into multicultural situation. The Indian, the Chinese, everybody playing together, especially when you go to school. I went to Belmont RC, and when Belmont RC playing St. Margaret's, it's like, I mean, endless people in Savannah, win, lose, or draw, is a band coming up the road. You know, so these are days, I tell the young people today, they don't know about youth. They don't know about boy days. They don't know about those days. And if they can come back, it would be wonderful, but they would not see those days that we saw. They don't exist.
Well, it's for us to tell the story, to tell a good story, to make it interesting. So at least they feel like, I know, I mean, you're doing a good job right now. So so you were aware of the international flavor of the Ivory tournament to the Washington, the New York.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Listen, Ivory did give you Newman service. They did a wonderful thing to pull all these different teams together to come under one umbrella and play. You know, and Ivory remains a household name. Nobody can forget Ivory. Ivory did very, very well. After the first year, we kept a presentation on College Street, you know, I don't remember the name of the place, but my friend, it is something that I would not forget, because everybody came out well-dressed, looking nice, and it was an event that Miley and all those people who was in charge put on, that you must remember. And I can't forget people like Chucky and...
Is it on the Kedama West Club then?
Yes, it could be that. And that was a wonderful setting. You know, but altogether, my friend, I said, one of my joyful times in Canada was when I was in Ivory and when I was doing promotions in Toronto.
Are you still doing anything, or I see you're kind of relaxed now? I understand they have something well organized now in Montreal that they do from Fridays to the weekend. Are you aware of that? And
that's you're talking about the All-Fours tournament.
no, so the soccer, they come together on a Friday and Saturdays and stuff.
Well, I'm not aware of that one.
Okay, yeah. Apparently it's really organized now.
I really don't know about that. And I am pretty well in the circle.
I think your son, I think they say your son is...
He used to. They used to do that. He was a wicked goalkeeper. They said they have to do
so you coach him to be a keeper? How you do that to your son? You see?
No. The thing is,
Mangi, and you put your son into goalkeeping?
I have never left my children behind. When I go to play soccer, they're in the car and they come and they watch. And he grew up to be a wonderful goalkeeper. I have a son also play for the Montreal Alouettes.
Okay.
But Canadian football. And I had another son that played, this one went to Northern Illinois and he graduated in industrial engineering. Now he's into the movie business, in charge of all the structures and so on explosive and so on. But
how many children you got?
I've got 5 biological children, and I went to Trinidad for Carnival and I adopted 3 kids at the age of 2, 3, and 4 from San Fernando, from Rosilac. Saw it in the papers, and my wife and the children said, let's go and see them, and I end up taking them. They are now big men and women.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how long ago that was.
Well, that was in 1982, 1986. Yeah, forget it.
That's good. That's a nice tune.
1986.
Yeah. So based on that tune, Albury Mr. Henry, if I did not. So what's all these rumors and associated with your name? You know, we as a people, whether it be Clyde McNeil, whoever that's promoting and being the point people for our people, there's always some negativity attached.
Right.
You have an opportunity to clear up that mist.
There's two things I want to let you know. When I ran the carnival, I ran it out of my pocket. I get no money from anybody. So if anybody, you hear people say, Antoine, take the money. If I take money, I take it from my family, what I deprive my children and my wife. I ran this out of my pocket. No government didn't used to give you no money. And when the carnival is finished, my friend, I don't have money to pay the prizes. But what do you think I used to do? I used to promote a carnival prize giving. And it's the money from the prize given are going for the prizes. You know, so people will talk and say what they want, but I know to myself, and I can tell you that I have deprived my family quite a bit. The last thing I did is to bring the band Trinidad All Stars to Canada. The city, and I'm calling him of Montreal, the mayor brother, come to me and tell me he has somebody that can help to raise money. And we tell him what he wants to do. He said, okay. So we meet in and we meet in, he tell us who is going to get who, which company is going to do this and whatnot. 2 weeks before the event, he tell us everything fell through. My friend, I don't know what to do because the guys packed the pans already, have it ready to ship. Visas is obtained already. I decided, I had a function about 3 weeks before at a place called James Ling High School. And they forgot to open the school. And everybody outside, police came, police take a statement and whatnot. So I got a lawyer and I sued them. They gave me $35,000. There's no contest, they didn't want to go to court. Bringing this band now, I decide I'm not going to let this thing fall down flat on me. I went discreetly and take $25,000 out the bank to pay the airfares, to pay Air Canada. When I took that money and paid Air Canada to bring the band, also bought Roy Cape on the All Stars. The band played at a place called Drapeau Park. And this is a place they're now opening for the first time. Nobody wants to go so far. So we had about 300 people in the place. Obviously, I lost money. But that was not the big thing. When my wife asked me if I get the money from the school yet, I said, let me go and make a phone call and remind them. This time, the lady seem to know that I get the money here. So we had a meeting, which was in my house, and the treasurer was making a report, and there was a bookkeeper who used to give us a trimester report every so often. And she asked him, where does $25,000 come from? Well, my wife was just coming across, then she heard that. He said, he stuttered. He said, well, the members put up together do that. But that opened her eyes. As the meeting done, he said, partner, I think the wife hear about the $25,000. Anyway, I leave it. There was some people came to do a program at a hotel downtown. She asked me to drop her. So she said, Ray, talk the truth. You take the money and put it in the carnival. Boy, I get an instant cough up to know I answer that question. I start to cough. I don't know. Anyway, I drop her. The next day, the accountant, the treasurer come by me. And he sat down. And she went in. He said, Arnold, you and Henry take my money and put it in the carnival. Talk the truth. You're my partner, answer that. He said, partner, my daddy always tell me, remember the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments say, don't tell not lie, right?
Yeah.
That's how he answered that. I say that to let you know how the money that I have put into Carnival, if I had kept it, I would have been very, very, very well off. The name that I bought here without any help, Joey Lewis, Germany Brass, Firefly, Sparrow, Juke, Nelson Valentino, Stalin, you name them, I have bought them all here. You understand? And I bought it for my people because it was a kind of a commodity.
When you say here, you have to distinguish the Montreal because
No, not only Montreal.
Well, right now we
Toronto.
are the Montreal aspect, but that on the Montreal aspect, you know,
Yeah.
because a lot you're more unique to the Montreal aspect because of the fact that a lot of people brought those acts here too in Toronto.
But listen, when was Clyde and McNeil and myself, and I was living in Toronto, those are the kind of artists I bought. I bought Rose and Duke and Valentino.
Yeah, I understand that, but you're unique.
In Toronto.
Yes, I understand that, but Toronto has a lot of promotions. They have a lot of promoters, right? And
not at that time.
To me, in my mindset, living there from 1972, in my mindset, knowing all the promoters, Clyde McNeil, as I said, Clyde McNeil from the same village I'm in and stuff, your face and you has always been a household name and never could have narrowed it down. Now, I think we more or less have that, but I want to take some additional information for future references. So, you know, it's a history here we're doing of the soccer, right? Are you familiar with where Canada is like? Are you following it? Did you follow any of the football/soccer from the Caribbean, Trinidad or what? But right now, Canada is the image.
Right.
And so let me hear you about what you think of the Canada chances and how you think they're doing.
The guys are running. The guys are running and they have what it takes to do it. Beat the mighty US and they continue to progress. I'm saying I'm happy. I never thought that I would get the chance to go back to the World Cup because I went when Trinidad went there. I was there. And now I've seen myself going back. Once Canada is going there, I'll be there again. So I think we have a very good chance. And the soccer is becoming very, very big in Canada and in Montreal. I think
All
it's
right.
good.
I want to thank you for giving me this time, the opportunity to get all this information on the Montreal side. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to finally get to put a face and a voice to Antoine.
Well, you know,
I've been here all these years.
well, listen, I have had so many people ask me, Antoine, when you're going to write a book? When you're going to write, it's easily said that, you know. But as I said, I'm happy to be able to let you know the facts of according to the false news that you would have got. Nobody has given Antoine any money to run Carnival. Antoine ran that out of his pocket. And I can say that without any reservation. Here what happened one day. You must hear this one. A fellow went into a record store and he saw me and he told the people in the record store, that is the man should be running the carnival. That man there, not that crook Antoine. So the fellas kicking him, but I say, well, you're doing that, leave him. He said, you know Antoine? He said, yes, I know Antoine. Who I know that smart man? So after a while, the fellas couldn't take it no more. They said, well, that is Antoine. He said, that could never be Antoine. I'm showing you how people just take things that go, they don't know. He talking to me, and he told them that could never be Antoine. So you see how things work, right?
But you should be running it.
Pardon me?
But he said, but you should be running it though.
Yes, I am the man should be running it. Because look at the kind of shows he put on, and he know what he's doing. But that Antoine, when they tell him he's Antoine, he doubt them. The man cuss him and tell him don't come back in the shop. He said that could never be Antoine. Everybody know Antoine. Say I'm not Antoine, but that's what it is. By the way, I have also formed what you call the World Carnival Commission, where I have been to South Africa, and we did a program called The Business of Carnival. I had people like Stephen Derrick, went with me, Gemma Jordan, and name people who's into Carnival to do the presentation. I have documentation from the ministers and whatnot, how they were so happy to have this done. I'm also the consultant for the Boston Carnival. And I do conflict resolution because you know with Carnival what you have all kinds of things. So I'm pretty well busy. On the 28th, I have a big meeting to go to in Boston, and I'll be heading maybe after lunch in the day to have that meeting to resolve some problems. But I'm pretty well busy.
So you are still involved in the cultural carnival and everything?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes, oh yeah. Let me tell you. The last thing I got from a senator, a document where they thanked me for keeping the culture alive and whatnot. You know, a senator. But,
so what senator is that, or you're not willing to disclose until you're...
Well, I got citation from Senator, she's part of the squad team.
Okay.
Ever heard about the squad team? Ayanna Presley.
Okay, yeah.
I got from her, I got from councillors in Boston, in New York. I've got quite a bit. This is one I got from Toronto, from Trinidad.
Okay.
Was given to me by the mayor, the city of Port of Spain, for my contribution towards the development of the art form.
And what year was that again? Yeah.
This was in, I got so many of them, I can't remember all the years. 2007.
Okay, that's fairly recent then. Okay.
2007.
All right.
And I've got things from from Baltimore.
So, Mr. Antoine, it's safe to say you can keep a good man down.
Well, listen, I tell people all the time, you could cuff me down, you can lick me down. You know what I mean?
So, never too late, but it's nice to have you.
But I must mention, my friend, it is sad to see that Carabana is doing all these things without mentioning two very important people who has done so much for Carabana, fellow by the name of Alpha King and Andy Paris. Though Andy Paris was the person in charge of BWIA, and Alpha King was the head salesperson for BWIA. So they used to bring in all the entertainment and you pay them after.
I know those names, yeah.
You know, and Errol Payne from Expo 67. This is the guy, Alpha King, who contacted Errol Payne and asked them to come across to Toronto and we start a carnival.
All right, so again, Antoine, I want to thank you for giving me the time, and you're looking good, man. I mean, like, you know, genetics, the African genetics working.
Listen, this year I'm 79. October the 10th, I'll be 79. I feel good. Everything working, and I all right.
Yeah, okay. All right. So thanks again.
Anytime, my friend.
All right. Okay. Take care.
Okay.
All right.